Change is an inevitable facet of existence. Through my experiences, I've come to realise that rather than resisting the tides of time, it's often more beneficial to accept the unfolding events that the universe presents. However, it's essential to acknowledge that change can be emotionally taxing and arduous, particularly during challenging periods. As I reflect upon the past century, I find myself in my twilight years, no longer the youthful man I once was, taking a respite from my duty as keeper of the book. I have grappled with personal tribulations, directing my focus towards carving out a new path in life. Yet, during this hiatus, significant developments have occurred within the magical dimension, realizing our worst fears. The presence of the Enchantix fairies, once abundant and vibrant, has dwindled to near extinction. I have not seen or heard tale of an Enchantix fairy in decades. Efforts to reverse this decline have been exhaustive, yet ultimately futile. For the first time in my long life, I find myself grappling with a sense of incomprehension. I've come to accept that I simply do not understand, and for once, it's not necessary for me to. With the realization that my tenure as the custodian of this sacred tome draws to a close, I document these thoughts, not merely as an entry into its pages, but as a philosophical inquiry into the nature of change and the ways of existence. Since the closing of the gates, fall of Domino, and disappearance of Enchantix, a group comprising of 3 arcanists has unveiled a method known as the Eternox process. This technique supposedly grants them access to more potent power that would typically only be possible of an Enchantix fairy. They say that the era of fairies has waned, alleging abandonment by the Great Dragon, leaving us with yet another thing to be divided over here in Magix. These self-titled witches wield formidable power and have left the realms of Magix for a distant moon of Grimhildr. They have dubbed this new haven Wisperia. As our comprehension of magic and the cosmos expands, we are consistently understanding that a previous limit to our power as mystics can actually be overcome. Some advocate for the unbound pursuit of knowledge, a sentiment with which I am inclined to empathise with. The Magix Council seem to believe that there are things that are not to be tampered with in regards to the limits of magic, as there exists knowledge perhaps best left unexplored. I speak from personal experience as keeper of the Book of Lore. I have been granted knowledge that I would rather have gone without. Wisperia has now become a sanctuary for seekers of this forbidden knowledge, unfettered by the constraints of the Magix Council. Not only do many of the new witches and wizards call Wisperia their new home, but also fairies yearning to unravel the mysteries of Enchantix, wielders who want to understand how to expand their potential, and even scholars, as they are free to research in any manner they so choose. Mundanes have also been attracted to the moon, as they are researching ways that could bestow them power. Regarding the moon itself, Wisperia possesses an intriguing composition. It is smaller than Magix, and thus experiences weaker gravity, yet it is highly habitable, boasting a thick atmosphere that insulates the moon and maintains temperate conditions, despite much of the moon being quite cold. I have contemplated visiting the moon to witness its wonders firsthand, but I am hesitant to travel far from Prometia for an extended period. Although our advancements in space travel have made such journeys feasible, it would still require several months of absence. Nonetheless, members of our community have ventured there. They visited the capital territory of the planet, Namathor, which has been developed considerably. The Wisperians have dedicated themselves to becoming a united force in understanding the full spectrum of magic, the workings of the universe, and how to expand their potential to greater degrees. I find myself pondering what drives these individuals. Some are most likely propelled by the pursuit of knowledge itself, but I fear that many seek the one thing that has plagued humanity and continues to plague us as a species as well. Power. Raw, unrivaled power. When does power become a force for good, capable of influencing positive change? And at what juncture does it become corrupt and morph into a vice, an insatiable abyss that can never be filled? Presently, society there appears vibrant and united in pursuit of common goals. Perhaps this cohesion explains why so many from Magics are drawn to Wisperia. Whilst we remain divided, they unite under a shared cause. In many ways, I earnestly hope they uncover what they seek. There are numerous gaps in our understanding of our own magic, and it seems evident that the Magics Council is apprehensive about the power they might unearth. I endeavour to concentrate on my life here in Prometia. My community now holds greater significance to me than my personal quest for knowledge. In many respects, I see reflections of myself in the young Wisperians. Like them, I once yearned for knowledge and harboured faith in its capacity to bring about positive change. However, with the passage of time, knowledge has also brought me considerable heartache and burden. Perhaps this is an inherent aspect of our existence, a truth we gradually come to comprehend as we mature. It is a freedom that everyone should be granted, the opportunity to glean wisdom from the teachings of the universe, and in turn navigate the nihilism that follows.